I negotiated with my son this morning. I told him, if you put on your clothes right now, I will bring home a book for you. And it was your book.
Right.
So your book's already helping my life. Okay, we now welcome on one of our favorite recurring guests. Back in studio is DAYMOND JOHN. He's here. He has what he's calling a legacy book.
A legacy book, yes.
It's called Little Damon Learns to Earn. It's out now. Go buy it. I actually wanted to start. I was saying to you in the hallway, I don't know if you read Art of the Deal. I read Art of the Deal, so I know how to negotiate better than pretty much everyone.
That's true.
I negotiated with my son this morning. I told him, if you put on your clothes right now, I will bring home a book for you. And it was your book.
Right.
So your book's already helping my life.
Did he get excited?
Yeah, he was like, oh, thank you so much for the book. And I
That's
was
the
like,
key.
in the back of my head, I was like, I'm probably going to forget to bring it home, but that's fine. Whatever.
But that's the key, that he actually likes books right now. Because usually they're like, a book. Well, what am I going to do with that?
TV.
Yeah, I mean, they lie to you when you're a kid, because books, when you're young, they're just pictures.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you have to start reading shit. And then you're like, wait, this is bait and switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is, so you've been working on this book for how long now?
I didn't realize I was working on this book for the last 30 years because I was trying to teach my oldest girls financial intelligence, and I didn't know how to. And when I first made money, I thought the financial intelligence was, you want a car, you go out and you work, I'll match how much money you have and get you a car. I was just teaching her how to work hard.
Right.
It wasn't financial intelligence. So I started looking around, and the reason why this is my legacy, is going to be my legacy, is because there's no book out there like this for kids 5 to 10 years old where it shows them how to build a business or what to do with money. All the books are princes and princesses. And now I have a new little girl. She's 6, 7 years old. And I'm tired of reading her stories about a prince that's going to one day come and check out her, gold slipper or something like that. And And I realized this is not out. And then our kids don't have financial intelligence. And at 17 years old, they can acquire $700,000 worth of debt that they won't pay off till they're in their 50s.
I always thought that was messed up. When you're growing up, the biggest part of your life is going to be learning how to have money, spend money, what to do with your money. Your life is going to be centered around that to a certain extent for the next 60, 70 years. And they don't teach you anything about that in school ever. They teach you math that you're probably, certain parts of math in high school. I've never used calculus in my life. I've never used trigonometry.
I've never been in the same room as calculus.
Yeah, that's actually
how bad
true.
I was at math.
I took Algebra 2 twice.
Yeah,
I got a C+ the second time.
I love school so much. I took 7th grade twice.
Yeah.
But so it's not it's not a scam, or it's not some kind of like thing people want to do to us. They're not saying, oh, let's not teach our kids anything about money, and then all of a sudden let's prey on them. But what happens is the school system is broken. The school system is where the school system was 80 years ago. We needed to be able to build ships and build things and have a trade like that because we're going to war. Or they were teaching you how to be a good employee because there weren't companies that you started yourself. But the fact is that whoever's listening today who's graduating school, 50% of them will retire with a job title that doesn't exist today. That's like saying somebody 20 years ago you were going to be a podcaster.
Yeah,
or
that's us.
be an AI expert or social media person or a pay-per-click manager. So you're going to not be taught financial intelligence and then at 17 years old take $700,000 worth of debt for a education you don't know you want to have.
Yeah. So this book, it's ages 5 to 10, 4 to 8?
5 to 10, parents can read it with their kids. And unlike when you think about a book, like when I read Catcher in the Rye in school, why the hell am I reading this?
Yeah, fuck Holden Caulfield. That book was, come on, let's read
phony.
this. Yeah, he is.
He's a big phony.
Dude, just grow up a little.
Yeah.
But when you think about your little boy, when you read this book, a kid loves repetitiveness. So what you would do is you'd read it every month.
Yeah.
Right? Because right now, the stat is like 60% of parents are uncomfortable talking about money with their kids. So now I figured, because I'm literally the only African American on major television, on major network for the last 14 years that don't come from music, sports, or politics. I've been in these kids' living rooms for 14 years. So
yeah.
I'm trying to be the new Mr. Rogers and teach them what's going on. And that's what I'm trying to bring, this financial intelligence to families and parents, and everybody.
Yeah.
I also think that sometimes people that don't grow up with money, they don't learn how to talk about money. They get like afraid to bring it up because in certain people's houses, like you bring it up, if you don't have money growing up, your parents just tell you don't talk about money, like it's a taboo topic.
It's bad, right? And it's not, right? So I put it in a real soluble way where little Damon wants to earn. He wants to get some stuff and he wants to make his own. He starts his own business, fails. Then he realizes he needs friends and he needs to tap into his friend's skill set to help him make money, and they all make money. So when your little boy, I don't want him thinking he can only be a superhero because webs got to come out of his wrist so he has to fly. But if I can show him, like the Avengers, instead of fighting Thanos, what you need to fight is you need to just grab each other and get each other together. And then I use the fact that you could dance, you could sing, you can draw, you're a gamer, and we can make money having fun. And that's what people need to understand.
So, do you explain, or maybe you could explain it to someone, like we have a lot of listeners that are maybe 5 years old. Inflation, how does that make sense?
Well, inflation means that the cost of everything is rising, but you can make money off of inflation. If you buried $100,000 in the ground, 1975, you pull that $100,000 in cash up, it could barely get your Mercedes Benz. But due to inflation, if you buried a diamond in the ground that worth $100,000, it'll be worth 1.75.
Right,
$1.75 million today.
So why don't do we print more money when we get out of it? This is, again, questions for 5-year-olds.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Of course.
We're not.
But you guys came into money, right?
Well, we did, but I'm wondering, I now need some tips on...
well, what would you do with the money now?
Okay.
What
I would
are you
bury
gonna do?
it.
Because if you
gamble it responsibly.
I would bury it.
Wait, one second.
Okay.
I put my hat on because...
okay.
Oh, I like that. You got a top hat.
Nice. Teach us.
I see I'm needed here.
Bring top hats back.
When I'm on Shark Tank, no little kid gives a shit about my $10,000 Tom Ford suits. But when I wear this hat...
this is awesome.
When I wear this hat, they want me to create magic, and I'm going to show them magic on how to get the hell out of their parents' house at 21 years old or turn $1 into $3. So you're going to use your money gambling?
Well, listen, you have $5, and responsibly you say, if I take one of those dollars and I hit a parlay, now I have $20.
And what are the odds on the parlay?
I'm not a mathematician.
Understood.
But I really like this team.
Yeah, you really like the team. Well, so an asset is what feeds you and a liability is what eats you, right? So let me ask you something. What do you think is an asset or liability? Okay, I'm gonna give you choices.
Asset.
Let me give you a choice
I'll just give you one and then you give me the choices. Asset, working with PFT, liability, working with Billy. I kind of nailed that, right?
I think so.
I'm not
I think I nailed that.
I was going to say, you have the walking definition of a liability in this room.
He's right there.
Who's
Right
that?
now. It's Billy. He'll give you a rash in 2 seconds.
Billy, what do you do?
Billy doesn't know that.
Billy's actually
your
struggling
skill
with
set,
the
Billy?
taxes right now.
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah. It's not a tough question. What do you do, Billy?
Stuff.
Like what?
Yeah.
I try to help out as much as I can. Sometimes it's beneficial. Sometimes it's content.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, wait. I like the fact that he said
I'm
content
Billy,
as the negative
that's
part.
the same description as a drug dealer, but I'm trying to find out what exactly did you do here.
Yeah, that is. You're right.
Well, they have a product. That's
What's the product?
that's debatable.
Billy is the drug.
Yeah.
So I think you're accurate about that assessment of what Billy does.
He's the liability.
All right. So you got some money. All right. Let me ask you, what's the asset liability? A 80-foot yacht, paint purple, with just a bunch of TV screens on it, and you sit there all day and you gamble watching the TV screens on the yacht.
Yep.
Or a share of Amazon that they may deliver products right to you, or they own Whole Foods. Which one do you think is an asset or liability?
I'm a shareholder in Amazon right now, and I'll tell you, for the last 2 years, I would much rather be betting on the can't lose parlay every weekend.
Yeah, purple yacht. Bezos doesn't let his employees take a piss break.
Yeah, that's a good boss.
Well, you could see. So if you so Amazon, you should be doubling down on Amazon right now, because right now if a car you loved was on a 30% discount brand new, wouldn't you buy a couple of them?
Yeah, but I mean, you can probably tell by looking at me, I'm a luxury brand guy, and right now Amazon,
Look
it's
at
like
his jersey,
so
Italia.
this- Italy. That's me. Okay, I want that yacht right now. I see Amazon stock, and it's like, ew, gross.
Well,
Would
okay,
be
so
caught
this is
dead in
financial.
Amazon.
So you need to buy when it's down, because it's going to go back up. So if you put your money in the bank, you would make maybe 3%. You put, let's say you guys just made some money. You put $100,000 in the bank, End of the year, it would be $103,000. You put it in Amazon. If it just goes back to where it used to be, that would be probably about $1,300.
Okay, that sounds better.
What about
Or
burying
$100?
it?
So it'd be $130. Excuse me, I forgot which 100 or 1,000.
And then the $13,000.
Then you
in the
parlay it?
parlay.
You parlay.
You let the
okay.
winnings ride. You let
All
your
right,
money now your money's making money for
all right,
you.
well,
Now
then
we're
I
getting
see.
this.
Well, this is the whole reason why I'm writing this book for kids, because adults like you are already too stupid to teach. So
Yeah,
I want
right.
to teach kids at about 5 years old to start understanding how to process it. So
You're right, by the way. I'm good at making money. I'm not good at like holding the
let
money.
me show you what there's a simple, and none of this stuff is hard really to understand. So let me show you something that you and any listener can do right now for the kids in your life. Just something casual to do. Okay? Your son, if he likes toys and stuff like that, and you want to buy him a nice little truck, right? Buy him a little Caterpillar truck, right? Mm-hmm. Buy him a share in Caterpillar.
Oh.
And then show him what that truck is equal to, and then take a picture of him that day, you know. The next
I like
birthday
that.
or the next holiday or Christmas, buy him a share in maybe Disney and a Disney product that he likes, right?
Oh.
And when you look at this book, all these shares that he keeps going over with and looking at over the course of the next 5-10 years, he's going to start to understand. Then you show him how much they appreciated, and how much did the truck appreciate, and how much can he sell that for, and how much
Okay.
can the stock be sold for. And if everybody did that with their kids, they would start to understand stocks. But let me show you the exact way the $3 works. So if you guys made $3, $3,000, $3 million, here's exactly how it's supposed to happen. The first dollar is supposed to go for what you have to pay for, right? Food, bills, whatever the case is. The second is an investment. Anything,
Okay.
real estate, whatever the case is. And the third dollar, you go and you buy what you would like to have, but you don't have to have. And if you don't buy it, then you put it back into number 2. What most Americans do is they put the money in, they do number 3 first because they worked hard, they want to treat themselves.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right? Then they never get to number 2, and then all of a sudden number 1 is late and they're paying 18% interest on their credit cards.
Okay.
But if you teach your kids what 1, 2, 3 is when money comes into the house, because when you look at your kids and go, what the hell are you doing? You know how hard I work? They go, no, and I don't give a shit. I came into this world just like this, and you were taking care of everything. Why would I give a shit?
Yeah. Mhm.
But when you show them that type of stuff, I did the same thing with my daughter. She's 7. She had $300 end of the year. I mean, I don't know, Tooth Fairy's giving away $40 these days. I mean,
Wait,
I got
what?
40?
yeah, I got $2.25 for all my teeth and my tonsils, but no problem. We broke out the $300. I said, baby, here's $100. You got to give that to mommy and daddy because you got to help pay the rent. She said, basically looked at me with the I don't give a shit. No problem, take it. The second one, we put it into a little business. She's going to buy seashells. No, she's going to find seashells and put them into little glass bottles and sell those. And the third, I said, what do you want to do with this third? What do you want? Anything you want. She wanted a pet. She started off with a giraffe, but we ended up down to a little fish.
Okay.
We go to the store, we buy the fish, we bring it home. I said, baby, the money just bought you freedom. She said, what do you mean? I said, you didn't have to wait for Christmas. You didn't have to wait for your birthday. You didn't tell me, and I went and bought you a fish that you didn't want. This is what freedom is.
Yeah.
So what she started to understand, and all the parents can do this today with their kids, she started to understand that's freedom. And freedom is either going away on a vacation, giving to a charity, parlay, whatever that is, right?
Yep.
But then we went back to number 2. She had bought 30 little bottles to full of shells, but she went and give away 20. I said, you can't give away 20 because you'll be bankrupt. She realized if she gives away 5, sells 25, she could then buy 60. And so on. She has financial intelligence, how
Right.
things work at 7 years old. Imagine if I kept doing the stock thing with her, and that
Yeah.
it keeps growing.
Do kids have to pay taxes?
Kids do not have to pay taxes because you usually pay the taxes for them at that
That's
point.
actually wrong because there's always the dad tax. Whenever my kids have food that I want, I take a bite.
Yeah, my son Chris, he's 4. He goes to Chipotle all the time because the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia invested in him. And whenever he comes home, I'm like, let me get half that meal.
You know the Bureau of Child Welfare could be listening to us right now.
Wait, whoa, you don't take dad tax? Like when my son last night he had Mickey Mouse gummies, and I was like, dad tax, give me a couple of those. They get taxed.
They get taxed in a certain way, but you're giving them a gift. So what are you gift taxing them?
Yeah, that's a gift tax.
That's what you're gonna call them, a
Yeah,
gift
yeah,
tax.
I'm gift
All right.
taxing him.
All right.
What? All right, so I love the idea about the stock. That's actually genius. You buy them a gift, you get them a stock, like $5 in Caterpillar. What about my daughter? She's a huge Lockheed Martin fan, and I really don't want
Your
to
daughter-
have her invest in bombs.
Well, I think your daughter should be. I think you should be listening more to your daughter than,
Okay.
than she should be listening to you if she's a huge Lockheed
Yeah,
Martin fan.
yeah. She's their number one fan. She's about to be 2, but she's their number one fan.
It's a good company.
It's strong.
It's
strong.
the last
It's a
20
strong
years.
company.
Been
Yeah,
fantastic.
Very strong.
Yeah, my son Chris again. He loves Halliburton too.
Oh, he loves Halliburton.
Yeah, big Dick Cheney guy. I'm curious. What's the worst piece of advice that you've ever received in business? Besides
good question.
going part of my take.
Good question.
Besides going part, the worst piece of advice that I ever got in business was, "You're not guaranteed tomorrow. Spend it all."
So back to you're talking about like you have money right now.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do with it.
Right.
Besides get rid of it. Right.
Get what?
You're saying like if you have money, you might as well get rid of it because you don't know what else to do with it. That's bad advice.
That's bad advice because they're saying spend it all, meaning always reinvest in the business. There's certain ways to reinvest in the business, not necessarily putting money back into the business, because there's a lot of people out there that have large businesses and they spend all the money and they don't have anything to take at home, right? Because everybody usually gets paid off your business besides you. The people that are renting the building, the people that are providing the microphones, all the employees and all that other stuff, and you're not taking the money out for yourself. So they say spend it all on the business or various other things, and that's not really the best way to do it. What you should be doing is taking that business like McDonald's and using it for more real estate than hamburgers, right? You got to put it in and build something else within the business and let the money work for you in the business.
That's
At the end of your book, did you ever think about having like a page at the end of the book being like, and the best business advice is create a book that kids will buy, because they never run out of kids.
They never run out of kids.
They never run out of kids. Think about it.
Well,
It's literally
you
a
can reinvest
it's
it.
just every
Yeah, but you
year.
know how many-
there's
you know how
Every
many-
time I have sex, I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself dollar signs.
kids. They
I'm
never
gonna
run out
make
of kids.
money off
well,
this
you
kid.
think, are you paying for that sex? You mean?
No, I'm making the money.
Oh, you're getting paid.
No,
for
well,
that?
I'm paying for it, but
So
my
you're
payment
going.
is
You're
an
going.
investment.
You're breaking it down cost per pump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, 3 pumps at the station.
I'm very
Yeah.
efficient.
Yeah, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it. So you're
all
you're-
business.
I like that. You're more a P&L kind of guy.
Yeah.
Huh? How much is your cost per pump these
I don't know,
days?
they call me all business skeet. I'm in, I'm out. I'm
Wait,
moving.
P&L. That's
You
Profits-
you said
profit
your
and
name was
losses.
what? Business Skeet.
all
No,
business.
no, we
scheme.
got a guy named All Business Pete here, but it's a long
I want to
story.
know, what are you paying cost per pump these days?
I don't pay anything. They pay me.
Yeah,
They pay you.
Yeah.
I paid $20
I
bucks
actually-
a pump.
You pay $20 a pump.
20 bucks.
So
a
what
pump.
is a good night
Usually
at home?
it's only
cost you?
$40.
What does a good night at home
40
cost
bucks.
you?
40 bucks.
What does a good night at home cost you?
40 bucks.
40 bucks. But I gotta
pumps.
show you. So you got what they call phantom costs around there, because are you paying for everything at the house?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
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 So you're probably at about $200 per pump right now.
Oh, okay.
All
So
in.
you forgot about $180 worth of, because that's what we call phantom cost.
What does a phantom cost?
That you don't realize that it's costing you more because you're just thinking about what you're doing right there, but there's a lot of other things that are in play, and that's a phantom cost.
Okay,
you've
so
got a bed, you've got covers
yeah,
on that bed.
Yeah, okay. that
No,
makes sense.
not physically like that. Well, that too. I mean, but if you're paying all of the bills around the house
Yeah.
and then everything else, then
The
it's
lights
different.
are on. The lights are off. Okay, so what about? So we had
We're talking about children's book today, right?
yeah, we're talking
Yeah,
about
I
children.
just want to make sure we
The
talk about
word
children's
we
book.
are children.
Does little Damon allow his employees to use the bathroom?
Yes.
Okay,
good
nice,
boss.
good, solid.
Yeah.
What about this SBV bank? So we broke it down for the people.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, it's not really that big of a deal because they'll just print more money. Is that true?
Well, the problem is if you give to that bank, now other banks can say, well,
Where's our money? Where's our
money?
bailout?
So that's a bigger issue.
Okay.
And that's way above my pay grade.
Are we about to be in a recession? I feel like
I
everyone
think
keeps
yes,
talking
we are.
about it. Really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
I got to
And
change
this is
some things around.
No. This is when you take that money because cash is king in a recession, right? And this is when you buy things because everything is at a discount, All right, so this is exactly why you need to know Little Damon Learns to Earn, because you buy things when they're down, not when everybody has money. They're rushing and buying luxury goods and things of that nature.
Okay. I'm about to buy a house, probably in like the next week or two.
Yeah.
My real estate agent keeps telling me, hey, PFT, don't buy this house just because it's around the corner from a wing restaurant that you like.
Yeah.
Hey, PFT, don't buy this house just because you're walking through the basement and they have a giant TV in the house as they're showing the house. But these are the things that attract my eye.
Right.
Is that good advice?
Well, I would think that a better advice would just go to a great wing restaurant with a big TV in it, and then you can just, pay for your meal there and get 50% of it. Of course, if it's a business, get 50% of it written off, and you don't have to inherit all those other things.
So I can just drive to the wing restaurant and watch TV
You
there.
could actually walk to the wing restaurants around the corner. Didn't you say you were around the
Yeah,
corner?
but I'm saying, like, I want to buy a more expensive house because it's closer to a restaurant that I like. Whereas I could buy a house that's 10 minutes away from that restaurant that's cheaper and then drive to the restaurant.
Right. So this book is for children because adults are already set in their ways, because you can always go to that restaurant, man, and take the money and just look at the game over there and parlay right there.
Yeah,
right?
Now we're making money.
So this book is fantastic. I am going to read it to my son tonight, and my daughter. But she's a huge Lockheed Martin fan. So what I had a question about, like, where social media is going with the economic literacy, because you're obviously now part of this, doing it for kids. But what do you think when you see these guys on Instagram or Twitter who are like the life hack guys? Like this one guy the other day said that he does four work days in one day.
Yeah.
He does, like, he'll just, in the morning, that's one work day. In the middle of the day, that's one work day. And he's working 4 times harder than us. I prescribe to the 10X theory, that if you just do 10X of everything, you'll just be 10X as rich. Do you think we're in a dangerous spot in terms of maybe some people who are full of bullshit?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are full of bullshit, but there's a lot of people out there that are, it's just no difference. It's a different platform. There's a lot of people that are full of shit, and there's a lot of people that honestly are giving you great takeaways. But like anything you're doing, you should compare that life hack to various other professionals' life hacks and find the common denominator in all of them.
Yeah.
Don't just listen to one person.
Okay, that's actually very good advice, because you'll see it. You'll scroll Instagram and it will just somebody be like, here's 10 ways that every successful person got to be a billionaire.
Oh, the grind set kings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, listen, and here's for the adults too, because of course this book is for adults and children to read together, but a lot of people say, I don't have financial intelligence. I think you brought up a good point. The best thing to do if you don't have it right now is you just load up your phone with 10 or 20 Instagram or whatever accounts that talk about finance. Don't buy anything. And try to just scroll through those the same time in the morning when you're looking at bags, shopping, chicks, food, men, whatever you're looking at. And you scroll through those, and believe it or not, in a year or 2 years, you'll start seeing common things that you will be attracted to. Because whether you like sports cards trading, Bitcoin is obviously down. I think that there could be something there, right? Or you're looking at stocks or flipping real estate. You'll start to see something you're really attracted about, and you'll get interested in it without spending any money. Just do that, because like you said, there's a lot of people full of shit, so you don't want to follow one account that's all of a sudden going to sell you something.
Right.
But if you see 10 and 20 accounts you're casually going through, you're going to like, oh, you know what? Everybody's saying this. Everybody's saying that. Let me start looking at it for myself.
Okay. I like that. That's good advice.
I've got a serious business question for you here. What would you rather have, $500,000 or dinner with Jay-Z?
$500,000.
Okay.
But
Same.
wait, let me finish. At the dinner with Jay-Z, you can pick his brain on how to make $500,000.
Yeah, because most likely Jay-Z has said it a million times in various different ways. So it would be like me saving $500,000 just to spend 2 days looking at every single interview he's ever done, or I can even get somebody to do a whole report and break down everything he's done. So why do I need to listen to him? I could save $500,000.
Okay, how many times have you had dinner with Jay-Z?
Never.
Really?
Never. We hung out once or twice, but never had dinner with him.
Yeah.
Sounds like you should probably do it. And not do the $500,000.
You don't even know. Maybe it'd be worth it.
It would be worth it. I could definitely learn from Jay.
Is there anyone out there that you would take the dinner with instead of the $500,000?
Maybe Warren Buffett.
Okay. But
Bezos.
You'd just be eating McDonald's.
Huh?
Warren Buffett just eats McDonald's.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Bezos would be a good answer.
Bezos.
Do you know Magic Johnson?
I do.
Can you text him real quick and ask him if he's going to buy the Commanders?
You want me to text him and ask
Could
him?
you?
Yeah.
I think it's at LA time. He may not be up right now.
No, he's up.
No, he's
Oh,
up.
Magic's
I saw
grinding.
him
He's
tweet
working
about
out.
the seedlings in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's working out right now.
And why would I ask him that?
Because I'm desperate. I'm
For what?
desperate for him to buy the Commanders.
Why is that?
Because I want Dan Snyder to be thrown into the ocean and then run over with a steam cruiser.
You just received some money, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be.
so
you
you
should
buy it?
I've been trying
you should
to.
be caring about some other stuff other than that.
Well, I've been trying to. I'm trying to get involved with Jay-Z's investment group with Kevin Durant and all those guys.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah. You know what? And how you doing that?
Just tweeting at him a lot.
Yeah. Is
that
he
what-
answering you?
No.
That's
they
a grind
Not
set.
at all.
That's a grind set. He's
Yeah.
on his grind set.
Yeah.
Just wake up and tweet.
And what do you expect to do with that? Because I believe that group ask you, well, how can you help contribute? Because we don't want
Right.
regular money because we all have money. We want smart money, people who are going to add some kind of, you know,
So I've been thinking about that. I know some of the guys that work on the biggest sports podcast in America. So it would be, I think, maybe good for their brand to be like. You remember when we in the Iraq War when they had that dude that was Baghdad Bob that was just saying like everything's fine, don't worry, Saddam Hussein's doing great. That
Right.
guy, that would be me for the Washington Commanders. I would just put propaganda out there all the
You
time.
would just go out there and do that?
I would do everything.
So
I
let
would
me.
be their
Well, when
fixer,
you
yeah.
tweet at him, what do you say? How do you? Because that's a pitch.
Yeah.
What is your pitch? What do you say?
Hey, Jay-Z, big fan. I got some money. Can I give you some money, and then I can buy the Washington Commanders with you and own a suite there?
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just? Oh, okay. Well, why don't you just go and get a suite there now, and then when he buys it, the suite will probably go up, and you can flip the suite if you want.
I just want to say that I'm honestly, the entire point is I want to say that I'm an owner of the Washington Commanders because when I was 18 years old, I told my girlfriend at the time, one day I'm going to own the Washington Redskins. And so I'm really trying to get back at her for that.
Have you tried extortion?
Yeah. Where
have
is she
not.
now? Do you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
So how are you gonna get back at her?
I just want to be able to
own
say
them.
that. I want to be able to say like I own the Washington
Yeah.
Redskins.
Okay.
Commanders.
Well, listen, that's really not a bad goal. How much do you think they would go for? Probably about $2 billion.
I think probably $6 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How much?
wow,
How much?
yeah.
What's your piece gonna be worth? You think?
1% of 1% of
Whopper.
1% of 1%.
Whopper.
All right. Yeah, I think you may have a tough time with that.
Damon's reaching for his pocket. Is he going
Are you
to
gonna
take out his checkbook for PFT?
Do you want to get involved in my investment group?
No.
Are you about to make his? Are you about to give him money?
No. I was texting my security, asking
Shit.
them to get them
that
to
was-
get me the hell out
that
of
was
here.
gonna be awesome.
I
That
was
was
trying to.
gonna-
I'm sorry. I was
That's
trying
be like
to,
your version of Oprah. It's like look
no,
under your chair.
I
There's
was-
one
I
Washington
was trying to say,
commander.
please
Yeah.
save me because I'm not sure what just happened.
You get a football team.
Yeah, you get a football. You get a football team. All right, so Damon, this book is out now. Little Damon Learns to Earn. So everyone should go buy it, especially if you're a parent. I cannot wait to read it to my kids. What's the one last thing that you would tell parents with small children, maybe outside of the book? That's like, hey, this is another thing to think about. Here's something else that you should try to teach your kids.
That they have to listen. At the end of the day, they have to control the screen times. They have to put
Oh,
on.
that's good.
I
Yep.
deal with a lot of YouTubers and the ones who are creating, like the McClurys. They're creating a lot of stuff. And they say they only look at it 40 minutes. They have an automatic cutoff. I think it's under family usage, or you can go down to the store, get it 40 minutes. They cut it off. Now, what happens is this: they go, well, if you want to look at it more or have more time after that, they can always reward them by putting them on their iPad by going, hey, listen, if you do this, I'll give you more time on an iPad, right? Because instead of having to give them candy or give them other stuff, let them earn it. Because right now what's happening with kids is they're basically absorbing all that information on iPad. And when we were kids, our parents cut the TV off. But a kid will sit there and put an iPad on them and fall asleep and keep listening to the same stuff. And what happens is my 6 or 7-year-old, she started having anxiety around the house because there's no shows for basically 6 and 7-year-olds. After Peppa Pig and all that, well, now you got the other shows around 12. So every time that my wife and I got into a dispute, she was like, well, you getting divorced? Or she'd say, are you going to die? Or when am I going to have a baby? Because she's watching stuff that may have, Hannah Montana may have a great song on it, but they're really adult topics they're talking about in there. And these kids are falling asleep with these iPads on them when they're going to bed, and it's really programming their minds against a whole lot of other things that are not productive for them. So I think that's one thing we're doing with our daughter, and we're finding that we take it away, and after about a week, she didn't mind not having it for 40 minutes. After 40 minutes, she just decided to play and do something else and use her mind instead of worrying about when somebody's unboxing and worried about all these children on social media that are showing them how to play with toys. She's starting to do it herself, and then she started to pick up instruments and other things. So bottom line,
That's
cut the
great
iPad
advice.
down because the iPad is extremely dangerous. It's letting basically cartoons and a whole bunch of crap into your child's life where honestly, most cartoons have about 40 acts of violence in them per cartoon. We all grew up with Bugs Bunny and all these kind of things. This is not something they should be absorbing too much.
Yeah. All right. That's good advice.
I got one last question about you're a fashion guy.
Yeah.
Your roots are in fashion. I'm a fashion guy.
I can see.
I brought Levi's back to the USA. I started that Levi's trend and the whole NASA trend. That was me too.
The what trend?
The NASA. People wearing NASA logos everywhere.
NASA shirts, okay.
I invented those.
Okay.
What's next? I want to know what's next. I want to be on the cutting edge, the bleeding edge of fashion. What should I be looking at wearing as
you're
as
a
hype
fashion
beast?
guy, you
I'm
said.
a hype beast, yeah.
But you're a fashion guy. You should be telling me.
Yeah, but we're picking each other's brains here. I mean, you're looking at me. I'm showing you. I'm opening my kimono, telling you what I think is coming next.
Why are you opening your kimono?
That's how business people. I've heard people say that in meetings before.
I've never heard that before in my
I'll
entire
circle
life.
back on you and I'll let you know where I heard that.
Okay.
But what's next? What's next in fashion?
Fashion is anything that you want it to be. You know, you can't. Fashion is dictated by how you want to wear it.
Yeah.
Top
hats.
You know where top hats are totally in, right? But you know where like all the couture stuff, fashion really started was really the paupers that used to stand outside the royal palaces when they were getting married. They used to do their own runway shows outside, and they used to come up with rags and things of that nature, and look like they were royalty walking down the whatever, right? The street. Fashion is whatever you want it to be.
Okay.
Sweatpants.
What about crutches? What about designer, like crutches for people walking around with one crutch? Like with
designer wheelchairs?
Yeah.
Do they
with
even
some
have
bling on
crutches anymore? Or is those things that you just put your leg up on and roll around with?
Oh, I like
scooters,
those.
those are nice.
Those are cool.
Yeah, those get me around the Golden Corral buffet pretty quickly.
Yeah,
That's
those
my
are
favorite.
cool.
is going to a buffet and seeing people that have eaten their way into like a scooter.
Yeah.
Still hammering that buffet.
It's still hammering that
Scooter
buffet.
still works. Well, everyone should go out and buy it. You can buy it everywhere.
Yeah, we started talking about kimonos and buffets and scooters.
Yeah.
This is where the conversation usually goes. All right. Little Damon Learns to Earn is out now. This is the first book of its kind, and it teaches financial intelligence in a fun way, as well as how to start a business. You read it to your child, every month for about a year or maybe 2 years, the same way they want to read, Dragons and Tacos and Stinky Wonky Donkey. But what it does is starts to process their mind on when they have things they want to do. They go, oh, wait a minute, that's just like in Little Damon Learns to Earn.
Yeah.
And I gave you some ideas on what to do with your children with stocks. Buy a toy and buy a stock that matches it. Maybe put a whole bunch of frames up in the house or a nice little portfolio of a book they can look through with great memories. And I show you how to honestly, deal with $3. First dollar for what you have to pay, second to invest, and third for what you would like to have but don't have to have. And the second dollar starts to make so much over the years that it flows into 1 and 2. All right, because if you would have put automatic deduction of $100 in the year 2000 every single month, if you started that and you were 18 years old, by the time you're 65, it could average out to be about $1.5 million. That's by just doing an automatic deduction you will never see right out of your check for $100 a month. It would easily be at least $1.4 or $1.5 million by the time you're 60.
Dang.
That's
so
compound
check it out.
interest,
Yeah,
right?
compound
That's
interest.
Carl Nassib taught me that.
Yeah. So I will release a review. I will read it to my kids, and I'll release a review. But Damon, thanks always coming on.
Thank you, guys.
We
Thank you.
appreciate
This
it.
is honestly, I swear, I'm not being funny. This is literally my favorite show.
Yeah, I mean, this is like your third or fourth time on, so we love having you stop by.
I'm excited. Congratulations on what you guys have accomplished and making a little bit of money. And don't spend it on parlays. If you want to spend it, I got a whole bunch of crap that I bought from Shark Tank that I can sell you.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I wish you love and power in your life. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. Check you later.